And ever since the abrogation of Article 370 in Kashmir, India has thwarted several attempts made by Pakistan to raise the Kashmir issue at international summits. And now, Congress leader Shashi Tharoor has reminded Islamabad that Kashmir is India's internal matter. This after Pakistan, despite being isolated on the global stage, once again raked up the Kashmir issue. This time, the venue was the Asian Parliamentary Assembly in the Serbian capital of Belgrade. Tharoor slammed the Pakistan's Senate chairman for blaming the developments in Jammu and Kashmir for Islamabad's inability to host the APA plenary scheduled for December 2019. In a stringent remark, the leader, who belongs to India's opposition Congress party, hit out at Islamabad for trying unnecessarily to politicize India's internal matter.
However, the reasons he has given in his letter strain the credulity of even the most sympathetic observer. He has referred to an internal matter of India to unnecessarily politicize the APA and Senate. Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of the Indian Union.
In fact, this was the fourth time that Pakistan raked up the Kashmir issue at a forum that has nothing to do with Kashmir. It did the same earlier in Sri Lanka, Uganda and Maldives. But this is also not the first time that India foiled Pakistan's attempts to raise the Kashmir issue at international summits. New Delhi blocked Pakistan's attempt to raise the Kashmir issue at a UNICEF event in Sri Lanka last month. During the South Asian Speakers Summit in Maldives, New Delhi reminded Islamabad that its only concern should be how to tackle terrorism on its soil. And speaking of Kashmir, more than 2 months after the abrogation of Article 370, mobile phones have once again started buzzing in the Kashmir Valley, much to the delight of its residents. These visuals on your screen now will show you how the first screens coming out of the Kashmir Valley, people can be seen using their phones and possibly calling up their loved ones after a long time. While walking on the streets or in their parked cars, the enthusiasm was quite visible. This marked the end of a more than 2-month period of communication blockade. The decision to restore postpaid connection was taken after reviewing the situation in the valley, according to Rohit Kansal, the Principal Secretary in Kashmir, and it has been received rather well.
Government have taken this step. We appreciate the government so that they have tried to restore the mobile services. I think from today afternoon it has started. It will certainly improve the conditions and a little bit normalcy in the valley, and we hope that in future government will restore all the mobile services so that all the problems that we are facing right now, it will be finished, inshallah.
As we know, the schools have opened already, but the students are not there due to that communication blockade. Now it has been restored. I hope the students should not suffer anymore. As the phones have been restored, the parents should be able to communicate with the school authorities. They should be able to communicate with the students. I hopefully the students are back to their schools.
In Kashmir, there are around 66 lakh mobile subscribers, out of which 40 lakh use postpaid connections. This means almost 60% users in the valley will now be able to connect via their phones, ending a rampant information blackout over the last 2 months. On that note, Wion's correspondent Ishan Vani, in fact, one of those 40 lakh postpaid users, and was among those 40 lakh postpaid users, and his phone was immediately flooded with messages and phone calls as soon as the clock struck 12 and the connections were restored.
The mobile
brings us the latest report from Srinagar.
Which includes, the schools where the parents were not able to send their kids to schools, given the fact that they would not communicate with the teachers and also the school authorities. I'm constantly getting the calls after it was resumed. The mobile phones have been resumed. This will definitely bring a sigh of relief for everybody in the Kashmir, not only from one sector, but every sector, including tourism, education, and other sectors who have really not been able to perform their daily functioning. With camera person Feroz Ishanwani for Wion, World is One.
And staying with news from India, the air quality in India's national capital, New Delhi, continues to deteriorate. For the 5th straight day, the air quality was recorded as poor. A thick blanket of smog enveloped the city in the early hours of today morning. The situation is being attributed to the burning of stubble in nearby states of Punjab and Haryana. Over the last 1 week, the air quality has fallen from moderate to poor and now to very poor in some areas. The worrying factor is also the prominent pollutant, which is currently PM 2.5. Now, PM 2.5 is a pollutant of considerable size that can enter into the human respiratory tract and in a worst case scenario can even cause asthma or heart attacks. Now, according to the Indian Meteorological Department, there is no respite in the offing. Wind speeds are likely to remain at around 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. But the marginal change in direction of the winds is unlikely to diffuse the haze that has built up over the city. There are more worries for the residents in the near future because India is just 2 weeks away from celebrating the festival of Diwali, a time when Delhi's air quality reaches damning levels due to the widespread burning of firecrackers.